And welcome back to the Daily Wrap. You knew it had to happen. Once again, Donald Trump is fighting with Fox News, and if that's not enough, now he's at war with NBC too. Last night during the O'Reilly Factor, Charles Krauthammer hammered Trump for using liberal tactics to attack other candidates.
When you blame the media for questions about appearances or about the lack of pep, you're looking in the wrong place. Those issues were raised by Donald Trump, the runaway front runner. He's the one who said of Carly Fiorina, look at that face. That was not an invention of the liberal media. And he's the one who's gone on and on and on in just about every speech about how his supposedly primary establishment opponent, Jeb Bush, is a very, very low-energy guy.
So Trump didn't much care for what Krauthammer had to say. So he took to Twitter, posting the following. At O'Reilly Factor, why don't you have some knowledgeable talking heads on your show for a change instead of the same old Trump haters? Boring. Then he tweeted, at O'Reilly Factor, was very negative to me in refusing to post the great polls that came out today, including NBC at Fox News. Not good for me. Then, let's see, Bill O'Reilly responded this morning on the Today Show saying this.
I've known Trump a long time. He wants people to like him. When people criticize him, he takes it personally. And then, you know, this machine, this tweeting thing, that's like the worst thing you could give Donald Trump is this tweeting thing. So I just think this is just an extension of his reality show, The Apprentice. This is just theater right now.
So, you know, O'Reilly could have a point here, guys. I mean, look. All the way through this, Trump has made a big fuss every time he had a great poll result, and he's had many great poll results. Then the CNN poll comes out earlier in the week, and he took an 8-point dip. And what does he say? He says, "Oh, it's just polls. We know they don't matter this time in the race." I mean, come on. So is it just theater, Joe?
It's a lot of theater.
It's a lot.
Theater is what's fueled him. He made a great point on the Today Show. He's being interviewed by Savannah Guthrie. And Guthrie leads. Her first question is, you've dropped 8 points in the CNN poll. Fiorina's up 13. What do you think about that? And he kind of looked at her and said, wait a minute. That's an NBC poll that shows that I'm up 7. Yeah, you're running with the CNN one. We're going to talk more about this later, but I think Trump has some good points, but he's got to grow up. Grow up and get off the Twitter, please.
Jonathan, you are a supporter of Trump. At least I believe you are, right?
I'm a supporter of the things that he says.
Okay. So do you think that most of what he's saying is all about theater, playing politics? I mean, or is he just in your mind telling the truth?
You know, I think he's smart enough to play, from what I'm seeing, he's playing to the field while that works. And what I would like to see now is a shift to where he's saying in-depth real facts.
Because well, we've all been waiting for that.
Well, as we just, and it's not really happening with anybody. As we just saw with Carly Fiorina, she goes on the Tonight Show and she says facts that don't really make any sense militarily. Sure. She says that Putin is not that smart. Putin's very smart, and he's a trained KGB officer. And she said she wouldn't talk to him. That doesn't make any sense. I think right now is Trump's time to pounce and start giving facts. If he did that, now's the time when I think they'll start taking him more serious.
But how do you continue this whole thing of I'm from the outside, I'm not a politician, and then one day you think the polls are everything, and then the next day you think they don't matter because you don't like the results.
I think the poll. You know how I feel about polls. I think the polls are the same as Twitter. You know, you get 5 people telling you that you're fat and 4 people telling you that you're fantastic, and 10 people agreeing with you. You know, you have to take it, for what it's worth. Right. I mean, the poll alone, what they just did about the Muslims, supporting or about people supporting a Muslim president, 60%. Where did they do that? Dearborn, Michigan. I mean, it's like you have to take these polls for granted.
For what they are.
I think we have the Trump clip, by the way.
Well, yeah, as Joe was just mentioning, we should talk about Trump's issue with NBC. Although the CNN poll had Trump dropping 8 points, the latest NBC poll has Trump gaining 7 points, leading with 29% of those polled. Trump was asked by NBC's Samantha Guthrie about the drop in the CNN poll, but she never bothered to talk about the NBC poll, which understandably bothered the Donald.
As far as the polls are concerned, the only poll you didn't put up was the NBC poll, where I'm way at the top. I'm much more than double, and I don't understand why NBC is using a CNN poll, which was also a good poll. I'm leading by a lot. But the NBC poll that you announced yesterday was fantastic, and you didn't talk about that.
No,
poll.
I meant
so
to. Well, I tried to.
No,
yeah.
I'm just saying this.
Yeah.
Why aren't you talking about your own poll? Why are you showing a CNN poll, which is very good, but not as good as the one you put up yesterday?
Well, I should have mentioned our NBC poll by name, but I did say at the outset that you were leading in every poll, and I meant.
But you put up the CNN poll, you didn't put up the NBC poll, and you're the ones that are paying for the NBC poll, so I don't get it, other than the NBC poll is a very good poll for Trump.
Okay.
And he's exactly right. And
She did kind of cop to it.
This is why people are rooting for Trump, because they see him as an underdog against the media.
All right, guys. So is Donald Trump right to nitpick about the polls, or is he being just a little bit dramatic? Go to newsmaxtv.com/comments and let us know. Let us also know your pick for the 2016 nomination by going to newsmaxpolls.com. We'll be right back.